Well, it's the ridiculed and unwanted base to our energy mix, which the Green left are desperate for us to get rid of. But when the going gets tough and the sun stops shining and the wind stops blowing, well, guess what? It's coal that saves the day. Even Matt Keane, the greenest treasure in the country by a country mile, was forced to sing its praises earlier in the week.
Coal exports are booming at the moment. Commodity prices are delivering record revenues for New South Wales.
I bet you that stuck in his throat, didn't it? And it's not just energy where coal is helping. Queensland unveiled a better than expected budget this week, entirely down to a resource boom in the state. But incredibly, in the same budget, the Treasurer Cameron Dick announced a new coal royalties scheme where royalties could rise by as much as 40%, pouring billions into Queensland's bottom line. That is, of course, if the coal miners don't up and leave Queensland. Joining me now to discuss the ramifications of this new coal tax is the Executive Chairman at Bowen Coking Coal, Nick Jorss. Nick, welcome to the program. Were you surprised by the decision this week to hit coal with these new taxes? And how much consultation did the government give your industry?
Oh, look, the industry was surprised. I think we were gobsmacked, really. I mean, there'd been some talk over the last couple of weeks, and I know QRC had been trying to get some information out of the Treasurer as to where royalties were going. There'd been some talk that there'd be some adjustments at the upper level of the scale, but no idea there was anything of this magnitude in the pipeline. I mean, this is now the highest royalty regime in the world. So, yeah, no, fair to say we were very shocked, and there was no meaningful consultation.
QRC is the Queensland Resource Council for people at home. That's the body that represents a lot of miners in your state. Now, some people say, well, fair enough, you should pay more, you make millions. Queenslanders deserve their fair share. But there's a real lack of understanding, isn't there, about the economics of risk at play in your sector and the fact, and I'd like you to tell people, and the fact that you pay a hell of a lot in tax already.
Yeah, so I think what's important to understand is that we have a progressive royalty system already in Queensland. It's been instigated over the past few decades. So we have a system that slides up from 7% up to 15%, which is already one of the highest royalty rates in the world. So above $150 Aussie per tonne, we're paying 15%. So that was designed effectively to increase the government's take as coal prices go up, which is exactly what's happening. So this year, the industry will put in north of $8 billion into the state government's coffers. So it really is the engine room and the driver of growth, and is paying for all of those hospitals and services and other things in the economy to a large extent. So, yeah, I think there's already a very progressive royalty system in place, which kind of covers that.
And the point I was making about that risk, the economics of risk, mining can take its capital anywhere in the world. I mean, mining's an international industry. So what's the impact of this likely to be on decisions made at head offices overseas about, do we invest in Queensland? Do we keep these regional jobs in play in Queensland?
Yeah, look, I think that is the big issue here is the sovereign risk, which now kind of rears its ugly head in Queensland. I never thought I'd say that as a proud Queenslander and a big supporter of our mining industry, but what's been put through here is unprecedented, globally. So, yeah, as you say, capital is mobile. Without capital, there's no projects. Without projects, there's no jobs. So, that's the real kind of rub out of all of this. That's the distressing part for all of us, I think, is that central Queensland jobs and jobs throughout Queensland. 1 in 6 jobs in Queensland is directly or indirectly related to in place due to the mining industry. So, yeah, it really is the engine room of the economy. And I guess we're hearing already noises from overseas, the big steel mills in Japan and elsewhere, and big investors that they're sort of very concerned about this turn of events. So, yeah, look, it's a dark day for Queensland. There's no doubt about it, and it will impact on the ability to bring on additional projects, and people's view on Queensland as an investment destination for sure. And it's not just coal, right? It may be coal now, but the problem with changing the rules so drastically on one commodity is that when people come and look at will they invest in the state. Into other things, where the state's doing some admirable things, trying to get us into critical minerals, and other things, and even, to some extent hydrogen. And I think, when foreign investors look at that and say, well, am I going to invest, or once they're going to put my capital in, is the government going to take the cream away there as well, take away most of the upside?
I'll let you go. I know you're under a bit of time pressure, Nick. I appreciate your time, but I know you're under time pressure because you're off to the CEO sleep out, the annual Vinnie CEO sleep out. I suspect it'll be a rough night, but it's a terrific cause. Good luck and thank you for your time.